Greetings one, greetings all. I've sneaked out of Wales again over the border into England. I don't mind telling you, they're very, very nice people. Where am I today? I'm in the old town of Whitchurch in Shropshire. So we'll have a look around the town, look at some of the features, usual stuff. Hope you enjoy it. Come and join me. What I'm really interested here in the high street of Whitchurch is how they've incorporated the modern into the very ancient. Behind me we've got Woolies. Well, that's a modern thing, isn't it? But it's shut. It's actually shut. And then we've got a building society, which is as much use as anything because they're shutting. But behind me again is an old shop, the Walker's shop. And above it you see, I don't know, Elizabethan, Georgian, Tudor. But fantastic retained buildings from very, very old Whitchurch. Of course, Whitchurch is a very old town, very old. Let's go and explore some more. Whitchurch is not only one of Shropshire's busiest market towns, but also one of the most history-packed towns in the county. What Whitchurch possesses in abundance is beautiful medieval Georgian and Victorian architecture, and here we see the NatWest Bank on the high street. What a beautiful structure this is. Well, what we've got behind me is a section case window frame, and you just don't get them round here. You do get them up in Scotland. You get them up in Edinburgh. They're used in the tenements. You see the curvature of the end of the building and the window incorporated into it. Very rare around here, a session case window. This is an interesting place, the Old Town Vaults. Who was born here? Well, Sir Edward German, the famous composer, was born here in, it says on the plaque, in 1862, and he was knighted in 1928, and he died in 1936 in the town. He's buried in the cemetery, Sir Edward German, the famous composer. The town of Mediolanum, meaning the place in the mid-plain, was established in about 70 AD by the Romans on the site of modern-day Whitchurch. Built on a low hill, Whitchurch provided a perfect location on a major Roman route, halfway between Chester, known as Diva, and Wroxeter, known as Vero Conium. The streets are always very narrow in these old market towns, aren't they? And sometimes sat-nav don't really take that into consideration. What I really love about the old towns such as Whitchurch is the old-fashioned names of the streets and the lanes and the roads. And I'm studying one at the moment, Claypit Street, obviously named, they didn't pluck it out of the air, do they? What they do is they name it for what was here, and what was here obviously was a clay pit. Somewhere down there. The name Whitchurch comes from White Church. The church in question was Norman and built from white stone, and although it hasn't survived, the current St Alkmund's Church was again built on the same spot using sandstone. I'm in the parish church of St Alkmund's. I must keep my voice low because there's a baptism going on in the parish church. The church was designed by John Talbot, who was the Earl of Shrewsbury. He was to all intents and purposes, a crusader, because we have to go back to the 1480s, 1490s, when the first stone here was laid down. Church is still very busy. Centre of the parish, of course, as you'd expect, the centre of the town, and we'll have a look at some of the outside of it. Some very impressive features on the church and around the church also. Follow me. The stone is sandstone. I'll get my words out in a minute. So the stone is sandstone, and people have carved their initials around the church. We'll have a look at some. TB. And here is another. someone called Stella Artois. Old towns always have plenty of pubs, and where I'm stood now, which is at the top of Bargates, which is a nice name in itself, isn't it? I'm stood next to the Black Bear. Behind me now is the Horse and Jockey, which you can possibly just about see, which has closed. Behind me now there's karaoke going on in the Greyhound, and when we go down, to all intents and purposes, the High Street, Bargates runs into High Street, we see the Red Lion. And that, my dears, is Whitchurch. I've had a fantastic time here. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Car parking free. Plenty of it as well. So they are prepared for maybe the upturn in our fortune as a country. I hope so. We've seen a number of shops that have fallen by the wayside, but we've seen other shops and pubs that are thriving. We've seen, a church that is still used to this day, in this case for baptism. It is a Sunday, it is quiet now. A beautiful place. I recommend a visit. So thanks for joining me, and join me again for another travelogue somewhere exciting. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye.
Saw your face in Barcelona, Spain. Lost your trail while in Amsterdam. I picked it up on the Isle of Man. Took the ferry back to Liverpool, just looking for you know who. You disappear every time I fly.